Hello, it is Zoey. Yeah, I'm changing my stuff. It's nice, I like it. I think I'm childish. Gaya put it here, I did. I don't buy things like that. But it's nice. I like it. Anyway, this video, I would like to speak about the story of Babylon. And in order to speak about the story of Babylon, I have to mention another story. And it's the story of Atlantis. Two metaphors probably happened in some level, okay? And it's probably not something that happened once. Like the story of Atlantis, it's probably many stories like that joined into one, and this is what you have, a sort of a mutation of many stories. It's a sort of a prototype. It's a sort of it's a collection of many stories, okay? It didn't happen the way it is, but it's a metaphor and it's important and you should understand it. So, the story of Babylon. What is the story about in the Bible? The story of Babylon speaks about, again, it's the sons and daughters of Israel. It's the Israelis, not the Israelites. It's the Israelis, the old one. Now we are the new ones, all right? We own the Bible, you know that. We'll speak about it later. The story of Babylon speaks about the Israelis, and they did something wrong. They didn't follow the Creator the way he wanted, probably, and he sort of cursed them and confused all of the languages that they couldn't understand each other anymore. Each one spoke another language. And then the tower, they created a high tower, the Tower of Babylon. It was so high, it reached the sky, like they were trying to reach God. And it collapsed. God did it. It's a big metaphor, very intelligent one, if you don't relate to the story the way it is. The story the way it is what we call in the Kabbalah, the pshat, the simple story. It's the children's story, okay? Underneath the depths. It's just a story. So what actually happened in Babylon? This is not how languages started. No, it wasn't the magic of God and blah, blah, blah. No, but it's a big story, big metaphor that speak about the inability to communicate with each other. Before they could communicate, now they cannot. It's like they speak different languages. Not necessarily that they did. It was the same language. They continued to speak in Hebrew. But they couldn't understand each other anymore. Something happened. Like a screen was placed between them and the other people. Okay? So, story of Babylon, story of Atlantis. The story of Atlantis is different. It speaks about a certain culture that became very evolved intellectually, technologically, biologically, okay? And they took another nation of different people and they took them as slaves. The Lemurians, they took them as slaves, and they had no true spiritualism, the Atlantean, right? And eventually they drowned. It's like the Creator made a magic and Atlantis drowned underneath the ocean. It's a story. It's not necessarily that you're gonna find Atlantis. Probably not. It's many stories joined into one. So in the story of Atlantis, the metaphor is telling you that you have a culture of people that received direct light, they received the secret knowledge, they could start and do actually magic and evolve intellectually very, very fast. And then there was a test, the test of power. They failed. They took the Lemurians and made them their slaves. Not just that, they started doing all kinds of experiments. They started interfering with the laws of nature. Wanted to control nature and the weather and everything like the Americans are doing now. And they drowned and they died. So they messed up so much that it's like the high spirit had to destroy them. However, in the Babylon story, it doesn't kill them. The Hebrews, they made mistakes, but not so bad to destroy and kill them all. No, just to put them to sleep, confuse them, make them ignorant, demented, make them forget who they are, where they came from. Before, all of them were in the Pardes. Those stories about those people in the Bible that lived hundreds of years, it's only doable in the Pardes. If you are not in the Pardes, it's undoable. And back then they could stay in the Pardes for hundreds of years. Nobody interrupted them. It's not like today. So, in this story, the creator doesn't think they're so bad. It's just that they failed, but not so bad. Okay, we'll confuse them, we'll put them to sleep. Why? Now, I don't remember where exactly it comes from, either the Kabbalah or the Halacha, Mishnah, Talmud. I've never studied it. I'm just collecting knowledge in all kinds of places. So, I'm not sure where it is from. The explanation, okay, about Babylon from Judaism. Is that the Hebrew Kohens, the Hebrew shamans in that time have reached such a high level in the Pardes, they actually became creators. I told you there's like there's like an option to become magicians. And once you have many and they work together, they could actually make magic and affect reality in big time. And probably eventually they did fail the test of power. And they didn't. If you get such power, especially as a group, like your first filter, if you want to pass the test of Hashem, okay? Hashem, the God of Israel, so-called, Yeshar El, the God of integrity. This is the test. You have to have a high level of integrity. And now you know you are all one. And everything is the creator. The filter, the first filter you have to put with everything you do, if you reached such a high level and you are a group, is the filter of integrity and the filter of taking under consideration all living, feeling creature. Every decision you make, it needs to go through the filter of the benefit of all living, feeling creatures. If you don't do that, you'll fail. And they did. They failed. They made magic. They made great things. Do you know the stories of the Messiah days? That they had like fruits at the size of, 100 times bigger than the size of the fruits we have today. It's due to the magic they've done in the Pardes. So they could do that, but if they were more responsible, it wouldn't have happened, and the Hashem wouldn't put everyone to sleep. It's because they failed. It's a metaphor, but it's a good story. So, since they had so much power, they've reached, they say it's like the creator was afraid they're gonna compete him. It's not really, but again, there's a metaphor there. So he blocked them and he took away their powers. He didn't kill them. He says, okay, you got superpowers. You made a mess. Now I'm taking it away. Now you'll have to spend all of your life trying to reach that stage of consciousness that allows you to do magic. Most likely you will never get there. So this is the story about Babylon and about Atlantis. It's kind of similar stories, just from different cultures, but it is a similar story and a similar message. Well, it was Zoe here. Probably see you again. Goodbye for the meantime. Bye-bye.